The move here up towards the line now, as you can hear the crowd here as we come into Crested Butte. They've waited a long time to see this, but they have been watching it live on television for most of the afternoon. Now the riders are in their town here as they line up for this sprint.
Well, it's an important sprint for somebody. 3 seconds, 2 and 1 for the first 3 riders to cross the line. This is what it looks like at the back end of the main field. All the guys have been doing lots of pacemaking. They're just sitting here holding on to the peloton for as long as possible, as they're now starting to pay for the efforts they've done of working for the rest of the team.
Well, there's no doubt United Healthcare, the boys in blue here, looking to take this out. Now watch out for, this is the Smashburger sprint. 3 seconds is the bonus, and they're going to get a bit of a surprise. That's Foster sitting there in third wheel here, and to see if he can pull it off. If he pulls this off and gets 3 seconds, then it's a question of hang on to the top, and he could have a yellow jersey. There's a sweeping right turn here as we line up now for the approach to the finish itself. But first of all, it is through the sprint point.
Well, there was the younger Juraj Sagan was up there in 4th place as well in this line. The brother of Peter Sagan. I wonder if he can sprint quite as well as his brother. He's the younger brother, and some people are saying he's even more talented.
Well, as they make the final sweep now, 3.7 miles to go to the finish, and it looks as though Foster may have got caught out. No, he hasn't. I think he's just gone through from the second wheel. As he comes up, it's going to be Sagan and Foster, and Sagan has got it on the line as Foster shakes his head.
Well, I don't know. I couldn't see exactly where the line was there.
I think the motorbike got first.
Oh, definitely. The motorbike did a good job there, going across the line in 3rd place. Now, this is a moment when the hostilities are starting to unfold, as we see they're trying to take advantage. And look at this crowd. It's unbelievable.
Well, it is, and they're enjoying the spectacle of the arrival now of the US Pro Cycling Challenge, but it's not over. This was just the Smashburger sprint for bonuses. Now they're pushing on, and it looks as though the man that won that sprint, no, it's not. This could be Foster himself. No, it is Sagan who's going now as he tries to push on for the win.
Well, you can see the main field now, Phil. They're not letting anything go at all. They're stretched out into the longest line we've seen. There's a little move there, and it looks like it's Garmin Cervelo pretty much in control, and Rabobank in the orange jersey and the blue shorts. 4th position there for Robert Hessing, but still a lot of riders from Garmin Cervelo moving up there also. I noticed Ivan Basso very much present at the front end of the pack.
Well, now look at the pace of lift up here now, and now we'll see if the Europeans are suffering from altitude sickness, because this is steadily uphill. On our computer, we're hitting 9,000 feet. We'll go through that to almost 9.4 as we race up towards the line. These are the pacemakers looking for their team leaders now, and in the case of the man on the front, they're looking to make sure Christian van der Velde and Tommy Danielson stay in contention.
4 kilometers now to go to the finish. Garmin Cervelo is certainly trying to set something up. There's a lot of riders filling that top 10 to 12 places there from Leopard Trek as well, as we're just going over the bridge now, and as they go around this left-hand bend, they're picking up a slight headwind, but they will also very shortly start to pick up an increasing gradient.
This is the start of that gradient, Paul. Now as they sweep left here, we're back out in the country. Great Crested Butte is in front. Crested Butte is below the riders now. Just look at the speed they're picked up for this now. This is going to be a very, very tough ride now for those who've got to win and those who must not lose time on the sprint finish. And look at this, the Maillot Jaune is trying to get in on it.
Well, that's Ryder Hagedal, the first rider there from Garmin Cervelo. He really is dishing out a certain amount of pain here this afternoon. Looking over his shoulder, he's looking to see whether Tommy Danielson is there, and he is. It's now Tommy Danielson moving himself up into 2nd position.
Danielson. Hessing, though, is the rider who wants this. He's put his teammate on the front, but he can't even get onto the wheel of his teammate just at the moment as they try to hang on together. Look at the movement behind as the riders try to get involved here. At the rear of the peloton, riders are now saying enough is enough today. Hessing is the man of the day, but there's a challenge coming as well from Radio Shack's Ivan Rovny has now gone to the front.
Well, he's trying to keep the pace nice and high and set something up for his teammate Levi Leipheimer. What a great job that's being done here by the yellow jersey. Patrick Grebs, maybe not going to get rid of him this afternoon. Up into 5th position there is first of all Andy Schleck, followed by his brother Frank Schleck. These boys are not going to give up the ghost too quickly here on this final climb. The blue jersey there is TJ Van Garderen, and the big boys are now coming to the front to play.
Well, Rabobank still want this for the rider in 3rd position. Rovny has done damage, that's for sure, as he's now looked over his shoulder. The peloton has split now. We're left with only a fraction of the peloton at the front. TJ Van Garderen is in an incredibly good place. Meanwhile, a flashback to the Tour de France. This man gets around, doesn't he, Paul? As it's still Rabobank coming up round him at the moment. Crested really is showing, but look at the might of what the leader's yellow jersey does. Gretsch is in third place.
Yeah, but just behind him, Andy Schleck, Frank Schleck, TJ Van Garderen, Levi Leipheimer is right in there as well. You can just see a little bit further back in the lime green helmet, Ivan Basso. This is the point where the race is being ripped to pieces by the wind. The wind is coming from the right-hand side, and that's why these riders are riding in this very long diagonal line.
And the speed that the European professionals have come here as we get an attack straight away has shut out the Colombian riders.
This is Andy Schleck on the move. He's obviously not too concerned here this afternoon, Phil, about this little bit of altitude, and they've put the real cat amongst the pigeons now. They're all trying to scramble to get onto his back wheel.
Well, it's not a good time for our pictures to freeze, and I hope it lets it go very shortly, but it gives a chance to look at the gear this man is riding on the climb. He's on his biggest gear on the front chain wheel, trying to destroy them, and the pictures, there's the finishing line as we have to cut away. The lead motorbikes are coming in now. Has Andy Schleck managed to crack them at that moment? Because Schleck has made a very, very cheeky move there, but it just shows you, Paul, he's got the confidence. He's done the training at altitude.
Yeah, well, watch out, because when you see one Schleck go out on the attack, you can be almost certain that if they get caught, another Schleck will go out on the counter move. Three riders now scrambling off the front end, and it's Danny Pate in the orange jersey of HTC High Road who's been forced to do the pacemaking for his man, TJ Van Garderen.
And it's Bissell who have also put a man up here now, and I think it might be Chris Baldwin who's got himself into the action on the left of our pictures. Schleck looks over his shoulder. Danny Pate is here in third wheel, inspired by the fact it's not Danny Pate, this is one of the EPM riders who's got himself across, one of the small riders. As he gets into the action, they've got a little bit of a gap. This is how the attack came from Andy Schleck. He looked around, he saw Frank on his back wheel, and he dug deep, and there's no reaction from Gesink. He just took one look and thought, I can't go with that move.
It's pretty tough to attack from the front row like that, Phil. As you can start to see, they're about to get pulled back in. That is still Danny Pate. He's swung off now. He's said to TJ Van Garderen, okay, mate, it's all up to you now. This is a move from EPMA.
EPMA have started the move. Frank has come across to join Bro Andy, so Cadell Evans is not far away. Cadell Evans is there as well. Leipheimer is trying to move up on the wheel of his Radio Shack teammate. These big boys are getting it together now, and Cadell Evans has got third wheel. Now Leipheimer's going to sense his opportunity here, but Frank is in fourth.
Frank Schleck moving up into fourth place. TJ Van Garderen in the blue jersey in fifth place now, just waiting for the time to try and make a move. Andy Schleck has slipped right the way to the back. I'm sure he was trying to at 1 kilometre to go.
Under the Maxis, 1 kilometre to go banner now. That is just 1,000 metres from the line. The big boys are here. Evans, Frank, Andy Schleck, Levi Leipheimer, TJ Van Garderen off to the right in our blue jersey. The pacemaking still being done by Ivan Rovny.
Watch this though, the black jersey there in about 5th or 6th position is Sergej Hanayo, and he's waiting. He's got his teammate Oscar Sevilla right on his wheel. They're waiting to see whether or not they can make the move here this afternoon.
Yes, Van Garderen is there, but he better look over his shoulder. Sergej Hanayo is right there, and that man is a very, very fast uphill sprinter. And still the work being done by Rovny here to try and deliver Leipheimer to the finishing line is sensational. They have pulled away a select group of about 12 riders at the moment. Cadell Evans, the Tour de France champion, is there as Frank Schleck makes his move for the line. A very good reaction from Levi Leipheimer. Cadell Evans, TJ Van Garderen.
Cadell Evans up there into third position, but watch out for these two Colombians, Phil, because they're in 5th and 6th position. Sergej Hanayo and Oscar Sevilla, they're waiting. Levi Leipheimer now makes the acceleration, and jumping onto his wheel is Cadell Evans. Watch out for Oscar Sevilla, though, because he's up into third, and Leipheimer's got the gap.
Look at the gap, and every second counts here. He was 8 down after yesterday. Is he racing to the gold medal today? Because there's a 10-second win bonus. Levi Leipheimer has ripped the field apart here. He's left them for dead. It was like commentating on the finish of a stage of the Tour de France with those names, and Levi Leipheimer inside of a 10-second time bonus and the win, being chased all the way to the line here by Sergio Hinault, the Colombian rider, but Leipheimer is after him. Sevilla is there too, and Hinault is in second place. Sevilla is in third. Leipheimer, has he misjudged this? His mouth is wide open. He took one look over his shoulder. Where is this finishing line? The 10-second time bonus could be yellow tonight. Levi Leipheimer has cracked the big time. He wins the stage. He now, I think, will hang on there for second place, and Oscar Sevilla might have got third. I'm not sure about that.
Bit of chaos as they came up to the line. They were all gasping for breath. There's no doubt about the winner of the stage, though. Levi Leipheimer, a well set up move there by his teammate, because his teammate Ivan Rovny launched him. There you can see Tommy Danielson coming in. These riders now know this is a race. They've got a race on their hands, and Levi Leipheimer is the first man to bang on the table.
And the next man to wear the Quiznos a yellow jersey, because I'm pretty sure that 10-second bonus will have stitched it up for him tonight. We'll have to check it on the overall later. And here comes the yellow jersey now, when he looked as though he was going to defend. The acceleration by the stars of the Tour de France was incredible. And so now Patrick Gretsch is still fighting for the seconds, but there's no doubt he's lost his jersey today. 55 seconds just on the minute conceded. So all his gains in the prologue time trial yesterday have been wiped out, and Leipheimer, I think, will be the next in yellow.
He was down by 8 seconds on the yellow jersey at the start of the day. He was down by 6 seconds on Christian van der Velde. That 10-second time bonus is going to make him the new yellow jersey at the end of today's stage. But what an incredible acceleration. All set up really, Phil, pretty much by the Schleck brothers, but all of a sudden they could do nothing when Levi really came out to pounce.
But you have to hand it to the Schleck brothers. They really ride a bike race to win. And they started the move, but Frank tried to finish it off. For the moment, with 800 metres to go, everybody in our camera lens had ridden the Tour de France. It was incredible.
No, it certainly was. Levi Leipheimer going back down now to the presentation area. It's like Jens Voigt over on the left-hand side, taking a quick check on what his heart rate is like. That must have pushed it up nice and high as he came up towards the finishing line.
These boys have finished totally exhausted here. This is not the top of Alpe d'Huez at 5,000 feet. This is the top of the great Crested Butte climb, sitting at 9,000 plus feet.
A little tap on the hand there to his teammates as he goes back down towards the presentation area. And Levi Leipheimer, I think, pretty impressed with that acceleration, I have to say, Phil. He has managed to put all the bad luck of the Tour de France a long way behind him now, and that was a vicious acceleration in the last 500 metres.
Well, you know, Team Radio Shack have had a brilliant season, overshadowed because everybody watches the Tour de France, and we saw every one of their 4 potential leaders and possible winners of the Tour destroyed by crashes and bad luck. Leipheimer was one of those, but right now he's off in search of a yellow jersey. We'll see him get that very shortly.
Well, that was an impressive attack, and that was really not such a vicious climb. There's a lot more racing yet to come in this event, and at least Levi Leipheimer has put the cards on the table and said, look, I've come here to win the USA Pro Cycling Challenge. I've got the form. I've been at altitude for a good 10 days now, with a victory at the recent Tour of Utah to boot. There's a chance here just to look at that acceleration. Cadel Evans saw the move coming and felt, right now I've got to get with this, but he just couldn't quite lift the horsepower that little bit more. That
was an incredible acceleration by Leipheimer, a man committed for sure. He comes from Santa Rosa, California, but he's not really a born native of California. He comes up from the mountain region on the west coast of the United States. And the Leipheimer, look at that face. I thought for a moment it was shaded yesterday, Paul, when he was going to fade in sight of the line and lose seconds, and the boys were going to catch him, but he found it this time.
I think he was judging his effort there. He kept looking back, kept looking under his shoulder there, just to see whether or not he could see the challenge coming from somebody behind, to see whether or not he could see the shadow of the man coming up in second place behind him, Henayo. And I think he realised just exactly how much effort he had to dose. He knew he wanted to win, he knew he wanted the 10-second time bonus, and that was enough, thank you very much.
But also take note of Sergio Henao, because there's a rider for the future. Next year he'll be riding on the Team Sky. Little interview going on here with the erstwhile yellow jersey. He gave it his all, and he did say he didn't expect to lead tonight. Yesterday was his target, he was successful there. This man was successful today in the mountain. It's incredible how Levi Leipheimer rises to the occasion when he races on his own territory, because he's virtually unbeatable here. So as we look out across now...
So there we go, as a confirmation, Levi Leipheimer getting himself the victory by 4 seconds ahead of Sergio Henao, who held on there to second place. Frank Schleck in third. Dale Evans in fourth. Christian Vandervelde looking very dangerous in fifth position. It looks like Oscar Sevilla faded just a little bit in those last 30 or 40 metres. But definitely a very good win. Van Garderen right up there in sixth place. Javier Acevedo in seventh place. Hessing fading down to ninth place. Oscar Sevilla, but he was an integral part of trying to get the victory for his own teammate, who finished up in second.